Well, this man is incredibly talented. 22 years of age, M.Abullayev, in his second appearance at the World Championships. He was a quarter-finalist in Yekaterinburg 2 years ago, so he's gone at least one better by guaranteeing himself a place on the podium here. And he's been really impressive so far. He beat Jonas Jasikevičius, the Lithuanian national champion, in a rough bout on a unanimous point decision. Then he took out Vladan Babic of Serbia, the reigning five-time national champion, before beating Narendra of India with beautiful movement. As for D.Chaloyan from Armenia, the 24-year-old, one of two Armenian quarter-finalists, he's been outstanding. He had a bye in his first preliminary round. He beat the Tokyo Olympian Sotney Rogova of Ukraine with a great display of hitting and moving, where he had to change tactics mid-bout, got sticking and moving in the second round. Then he beat the Pan Am Games silver medalist Cristian Salcedo in a bout that was all square on 3 cards after 2 rounds. He was busy in the third round to get himself a good win. And then he beat the reigning World Military Championship gold medalist and reigning national champion of Uzbekistan, Lazizbek Mullazhonov, in a revenge victory, because in that military championships, Mullazhonov beat Chaloyan in the semi-finals, which left Chaloyan with a bronze. That is how he's come through to the bronze medal final 4th stage of the competition. Luca Varilonga will be our 3rd man in the ring, and this promises to be a fascinating affair. We're in the 92-kilogram plus super heavyweight division. This is semi-final action between boxers from Azerbaijan and Armenia, and the taller boxer wearing red, who is immediately getting to work with a long, stiff, straight left hand, is D.Chaloyan, the 24-year-old, part of an 11-man Armenian boxing team. Azerbaijan sent 9 men through to Belgrade 2021. And M.Abullayev, beautiful switch hit up, very good move up. And he will be looking to use those qualities against a man who is a good mover himself, but goes about his craft in a completely different way. His punch is more correct, more textbook, straight from the shoulder often. Abullayev flows beautifully, very composed, and can just flick up shots from the belt line. Chaloyan looking to establish that big backhand. He scores with a good left jab. Nice head movement from Abullayev to slip the subsequent jab and score to the body. There's the head movement once again, and a counter left hand from Abullayev. Well, both boxers have got plenty of support in the stands here at the Stark Arena. It's a rather raucous, strident atmosphere. The two boxers exchanged hooks, but look at the different manner that they were delivered. Elbow was high for Chaloyan, and it was almost a slap from Abullayev, who flicks up a left hand from his belt line. Momentarily was southpaw, now he's totally square on the ropes in between 2 stances. But he will often invite pressure and lure his man in and bob and weave and box his way off it. He takes a slapping left hand from Chaloyan with just over a minute to go. He then made Chaloyan miss, turning southpaw on the fly once again. Both shots fell short. Burst of punches from Chaloyan with Abullayev square on the ropes, and he was touched up during that. He wasn't even a trade-off because Abullayev couldn't get his own offense away. Good left hand to the body as he switches southpaw once again. Checked right hand was a slapping shot from Abullayev. He scores with an upward left jab. Chaloyan content to keep his hands down beyond punching range. Beautiful punch picking from a hands down position from Abullayev, shooting those shots up from the belt line. And he's looking to lure the man into his wheelhouse once again, looking to set that trap, watching the shoulder of his opponent to see when those muscles twitch, and he'll back himself to beat Chaloyan to the punch. Terrific trade-off with 20 seconds to go in this opening round. Chaloyan getting through with a final left hand in that exchange. Good work to the body, but during that coming together between the two boxers, and the left hand to the body came from Abullayev. And again, he's boxing in composed fashion off the back foot, but Chaloyan looking to press and establish long, straight shots. What an opening round. 92-kilogram plus super heavyweight boxers demonstrating terrific punch output.
That was an absolutely fantastic round. Brilliant, brilliant opening to the fight. And he, the fighter we're looking at here, he is an unusual super heavyweight, isn't he? The man in red, the way that he just stands, offers the head, carries those gloves low, pops those shots in from the outside. But it's the man across the ring in the blue corner who just stepped to him and at times had these little pockets of success, who had the better round, I thought. And the judges, 5 of them there, concur, they agree, they go the same way. And it's just a great matchup of styles between someone who just doesn't box in the way that you would expect a super heavyweight to go about things, and somebody who approaches it in a more traditional manner. And he wore some punches there, Chaloyan, but towards the end of the round in particular, he got some pretty heavy, pretty hot and heavy work done, I thought.
So we go into the second round then. M.Abullayev, the switch hitter wearing red, one of 3 AZE medalists here in Belgrade 2021 from the 9 men they sent through. He scores with a good left jab to the body. Chaloyan, one of two medalists for Armenia from their 11-man squad. 4-time national champion of these neighboring nations. And of course, whenever they meet, it's always a match heavy with significance. So in addition, for a place in the gold medal bout, there are the comparatively local bragging rights between, oh, that's a beautiful left hand to the body, but look at the shot he took in response upstairs. The left hand to the body came from Abullayev, but coming right back is Chaloyan. But again, so much more than just a medal at stake, as though the boxers need any extra incentive or encouragement in a place in the gold medal bout. The considerable prize that comes with it. There's also the bragging rights that will speak to the competitive essence of these men. And it's a terrific portion of the round from Chaloyan once again, trying to weave his way out of harm's way over the top rope was Abullayev, but he was picked off during that flurry of punches from the man in blue. Going looking for the 1-2, but he's short of the range. He couldn't fully commit on the subsequent attack because Chaloyan was moving backwards. And I've exchanged gestures and brief words with Chaloyan at the hotel, and let me tell you, he's well over 6 feet 7 inches tall, around 6 feet 7 inches tall, towering super heavyweight. And why I mention the man's height is the soldier from Yerevan, the Armenian capital. That's a beautiful 2-shot salvo to the body, but he possesses terrific movement. And the 2-shot salvo to the body came from Abullayev. He really sat down on his punches and shoveled in a shot from both flanks. There he looks for a left hand to the body once again. Very well picked punch. First and third boxing from Abullayev during that trade-off inside the final minute of this second round. Chaloyan back beyond punching range, but again, because he's the taller boxer, able to land with a right-hand lead out of the orthodox stance. So Abullayev, right-left success out of the southpaw stance, down to the body. Good hooks on the inside, but the final word came from Chaloyan, although it was Abullayev who was first and second in that exchange. Big backhand wide of the mark, and that's a beautifully picked, oh, wicked punch selection from Abullayev. First came a right hand, and then it was followed up by straight punches that came in rapid fire fashion in the blink of an eye. Terrific work from Abullayev, but then comes a right hand success of the single variety from Chaloyan. And aware of the fact that he was put under pressure, he came back with a storming response. The action continues in incessant fashion through the second 3 minutes of that round.
Just a fantastic fight to watch, really is, from both of these two. And he pulled off that great combination towards the end of the round there, the man we're looking at in the red corner, Abullayev, but it was still the blue corner, Chaloyan, who had the better of that round. He is an extremely difficult man to keep off. As you mentioned, he's a good mover. He takes his feet with him everywhere he goes, so he's always set and nice and balanced when he punches, and he's very, very effective. He doesn't miss with very much, and Abulayev's got a chin on him because he landed plenty in that round, D.Chaloyan. And the punch output from these two for two big super heavyweights, and that's been actually quite typical of the super heavyweight fights I've seen over the last 2 weeks. Has been very, very impressive. Magnificent stuff to watch.
So into the third and final round then, the man wearing red, who is a comfortable switch hitter, needs a massive final round. He starts with a good left hand to the body that had plenty of weight behind it. And the reason he needs a big final round is because D.Chaloyan, the 24-year-old from Yerevan in blue, has taken the first 2 rounds unanimously by using tactics such as this. In the pocket, able to hit while moving laterally left and right, and also forwards and backwards as well. And even though, given his stature, he's a classical straight puncher on occasion, he's not averse to stepping into mid-range and letting go with a burst of short, bent arm punches, hooks and uppercuts that have swiveled the head of his opponent in eye-catching fashion. Approaching a minute gone in this 3rd and final round. Chaloyan, as I mentioned, in his first championships, and there's a reverse 1-2 to end that burst of success for him. Then feeding Chaloyan, then feeding Abullayev a stiff left jab of the flicking variety. And Abullayev hasn't been able to quicken his feet and close the distance. So the deeper we go into the contest, the more he's looking to produce a single shot knockout. But Chaloyan controlling the distance and indeed the tempo and terms of this final round very well, increasing the gap when he wants to. Took a single shot there from Abullayev, who is trying to walk his man down. But look at how the distance is being controlled by that lead left hand of the man in blue. So it's his first World Championships, the reigning national champion, 4-time national champion of Armenia, the man in blue. Abullayev, who just scored with a good left hand to the body. Well, his precocious, prodigious talent has been on the radar for some time, because in 2015 at the World Junior Championships, he boxed his way to top spot on the global medal podium. It was the following year as he takes a stiff right hand from Chaloyan. It was the following year that I first saw him from ringside when at the World Youth Championships in St. Petersburg, quarter-finalist in that tournament. Later that same year, he took Continental Youth Gold and competed in the Tokyo Olympic Games earlier this year. Has accumulated an immense amount of experience. The 22-year-old who resides in Baku. Beautiful left uppercut, but it found the body rather than the head. And as uncomfortable as body shots can be, they're unlikely to knock you out. Of course, there are notable exceptions, and a man who has been such a feature of AIBA boxing in Belgrade 2021, Roy Jones Jr. took out Virgil Hill with a devastating body shot that could be heard outside of the arena when he landed it. But M.Abullayev not able to produce the punch, and that is why D.Chaloyan walks back to his blue corner with both arms raised. Abullayev gave it absolutely everything, but the straight shot selection, punch output and movement of D.Chaloyan will see him eliminated from the tournament at the semi-final stage. It's going to be World Championship bronze, and we're undoubtedly going to see this man, D.Chaloyan, in the gold medal bout.
Absolutely, he's a terrific all-round fighter, and he is going to take some beating.
And there is the moment of confirmation. D.Chaloyan of Armenia boxing his way through to contest championship gold here in Belgrade. A terrific performance, taking all 3 rounds for the judges from Canada and Guatemala. After conceding the first 2 unanimously, M.Abullayev competed ferociously with everything that he possesses to take the final round for judges